Welcome back to Robinson Family Farm and Future Homestead. It is the end of the first week of August in 2025, and I've been up here for a full week, and I've been able to get a lot of stuff done. And thankfully, Tina's been able to come up, and she was able to spend the longest amount of time she's ever been up here. I think it was 4 or 5 days in a row. A bit of a small vacation that just kind of hinges on actual manual labor. So we got a lot of work done, but we were able to get away from the day-to-day hustle and bustle that we're eventually going to move away from. If you check back previous videos, we recently just got running water. Now that doesn't mean that we have like all the plumbing in the house done, but we do have a couple of hose spigots. I was able to use that to rig up a outdoor sink and outdoor shower, kind of like a camp style, but that allows us to do things like wash dishes, clean ourselves, keep things, you know, sanitary, and just getting a little more refreshed after sweating all day working on things. What I'm going to do now is just kind of take you in the house and show you an update of the plumbing and how we kind of hit a snag, but we're going to rearrange some of the plumbing. And I kind of need to get some advice from people who know what they're talking about. Feel free to leave some comments down below and help me out, get me in the right direction. But let's take you in the house in a moment. First, I'm going to spin the camera around and show you the well. And the well raises a question for me. So let's take a look. Now the well is not far from the side of the house, and we have the water line going right along in this direction to that little bit of a bare spot right in that area. So my question is, and maybe you guys can help me out, is as winter approaches, I'm worried about all these lines freezing. Now we are using the well with the running water, but I know I'm going to have to blow out the lines. Now, I've never done that before. I have a little kit that I can rig up to the hose spigots. But my question is, what about the water underneath the slab? This water here is, I think, about 3 or 4 feet deep. So I'm pretty sure that'll be protected in upstate New York cold winters. But would it be worth digging down right around in this area and putting some sort of check valve with an outlet for me to hook up that blow-up valve here, so I can blow out all the water that's under the slab and have it come out all the fixtures that we have kind of hooked up in the meantime? And when I say that, we got the hose spigot here. So this hose spigot, along with the one in the back of the house, would allow all the water to come out. If I take you inside, really, we don't have anything hooked up just yet. So we have a bunch of fixtures like this where they're ready to go for future, you know, sinks and things like that. But I got to blow all this water out. So can you guys give me some sort of direction of how to do that? Maybe a video that I haven't found that can help me out. Leave a comment below with all kinds of directions and advice. Now that we're in the house, we're going to take you over here, and we're going to discuss basically a lot of problems that we had. So from the top, we got the expansion tank. We have a whole house water filter, 3-stage, and we have probably an overkill of a tankless water heater. The water will come in from underneath the slab, and it goes all the way to the laundry closet that's sticking up out of the ground right about there. Goes up through the ceiling and then comes back over to this area. Then it hooks to the expansion tank. Originally, the plan was to build kind of like a little low-level closet that was even with this pony wall, and just encase everything in here. But we realized very quickly that the filter's bigger than we expected, and we really didn't have any room for all of this stuff to fit in this area. So we were making, compromises, and we were going to put the tankless water heater up in the attic and whatever. It was going to be a huge problem. So after Tina being here for a couple days, we brainstormed and we realized we're just going to build a tall utility closet that goes from the floor where the tank is all the way up to the ceiling that's 10 foot high. So I'm going to put the filter in the middle, tank, filter, heater, and then it'll supply the rest of the house. And I can just build out a little wall here with a door. I can even put a vent to keep some fresh air going in there for the tankless water heater. It's going to be a much, much better system rather than having like the tankless water heater all the way across the other side of the house, having some water stuff here, some water stuff in the other part of the house. It was getting crazy. So everything you see here works. Of course, the heater isn't hooked up yet. We don't have any propane. But all this is going to get rearranged and replumbed in a much better way and a more kind of tidy it up. Speaking of propane, we actually had a propane guy come out this week too. So that was another like monumental thing that happened. We are on the schedule to have a 500-gallon tank. Is it 500 gallons or 500 pounds? I get them mixed up. But a 500-something tank is what we decided on after talking to him. Originally, we were looking at like 1,000. Because I want to go as big as possible, as few fill-ups a year as possible. And I just like the idea of having as much on hand as we could possibly ever need. When we had him come out, he's the expert. We presented our plan of what we thought was a good way to do it. And he told us the best spot to put it, where the lines are going to go, and how to plumb the inside. He's going to install the tank. I have to dig a trench from the tank to the house. He's going to come back out, install the line in the trench, hook up the regulators, and then we do the plumbing from the regulators inside the house to our appliances, namely the tankless water heater and Tina's 8-burner stove that she's going to get. So all of this is moving along, and we couldn't be happier. It's really, I feel like we're at a tipping point with this build where it's on such a momentum. We've gained so much momentum building this house, with the utilities are now coming together. And it's not far off where the plumbing will be done. And then we can start adding the actual sinks and fixtures and stuff like that. Along the way, I've started doing a little bit of electric, and I just got to run all the outlets. We were able to spend some time together, Tina and I, this week, brainstorming where we want all the outlets and light switches and how many we want and where we're going to put the recessed lighting and things like that. It is all coming together. And it's still going to be a long way off of when we move in, but the idea of having all of this taken care of by us, for us, designed by and for us, it's working out. We couldn't be happier. It seems like it happens so fast for other channels, and for a while we were getting a little frustrated, at least I was, with what seemed like the lack of progress, but there's always been progress. And it's just now to the point where a lot of the big ticket items are done. We have outbuildings, the well, the septic, all the things we've talked about in the past. And it's just slowly coming together. Please leave a comment down below. I'm all ears. I'm willing to learn. I'm just soaking up information. So leave that down below. In the meantime, keep an eye out for probably just a few more videos this year, because we're in August. My school year is starting up again soon. So I'm going to be back teaching, and I won't have the ability to be up here as much as I have been over the summer, of course. All right, well, with that in mind, I got to get back home. Tina's already left, and she's on the road. She's probably close to halfway home at this point. I got to lock everything up and just get out of here and get back to dirty Jersey. In the meantime, thanks for watching, hanging out, and enjoying this little channel. Keep an eye out for more content from Robinson Family Farm and Future Homestead. Thanks for watching.